So what's on your retire to list? I hope it's a lot better than your retire from list. Is it enough to make you happy in retirement? Most of us just think of retirement as escaping the job. No more alarm clock in the morning, no more commute to work, no more boss. But really, retirement is a lot better if you take the time to have a plan and start getting excited about all the things you can do. So retirement without a plan may not be as fulfilling. Freedom alone might not just be enough. It turns out you might need more than just the absence of work. You probably will need something to look forward to. So let's talk about how to make a retire to list that will make this next part in your life be joyful and intentional. So think about what makes you happy. Have there been any places you thought of going or things that you thought of doing that you've forgotten about because at the time you knew you were too busy and you just kind of squashed the idea instead of putting it on a list? Start with the things that light you up, the things that you know that if you could do them, you would be there tomorrow. Personally, I keep notes pages on my phone. I think at this point I might actually have 5 or 6. I have different lists. I have bucket lists, which are just general that I'd love to do someday. I have lists of the next place I want to visit with more specific details on where I want to go, what I want to do. Maybe I've looked at tours that I could take, hotels I could stay at, places that have been recommended, like in magazines or YouTube or friends. So I keep those lists. I keep a general bucket list. I keep a bucket list of different countries. I also have lists of places in the United States that I'd like to go to. I have notes about places I haven't liked and places I have liked and I'd like to revisit. So as you can tell, the list can get really big. So let's start working on your list, or at least the beginning of many, maybe many lists. It's important in the beginning to maybe take a broad view of all the different aspects that are important in life, right? So you can have spiritual things that you want to list, mental things that you want to list, physical things that you want to list, social things that you want to list, and then have sub-lists on that. I have some suggestions. So a few of the fun things to think about are maybe naps, travel. Think of hobbies that you'd like to do, enjoying good health and the ways to maintain that, whether it's cooking, going to farmers markets, working out in the gym when nobody else is around, exercise routines. Having more time in retirement is getting to sleep when you want to and getting up when you want to. You can choose to work when you want and not work when you don't want to. Total freedom. Volunteering, there's philanthropy, there are different clubs you can join, there are meetups you can go to, you can look forward to walking your dog more, you can reconnect with family or friends in other locations and start planning that. So a nice choice is to make a cruise reservation because cruises book far in advance. And so, for example, I made a deposit on a cruise in December of 2023 as a Christmas present for myself. And I only had to put down the deposit for one person, and I could go ahead and make the reservation for a room. And it was a repositioning cruise from the East Coast to Europe. And it was a 14-day cruise. It was really wonderful. But I wasn't sure at the time when I made the reservation how, if it would work out, if I would be able to get that amount of time off. When you make these reservations far in advance, it's a goal and you know you're going to go do something kind of extraordinary. So let's go back to making those to lists. So you have your retire to list, but there's also the retire from. And the retire from list is incentive to make that retire to list more alive. And you think, instead of commuting, I'm going to be sleeping in the morning. When you are annoyed by a coworker that may not be your favorite person, you can think in your head, I'm going to be retired soon, and I can go to lunch with friends whenever I plan to do it. So if you see the sunrise or the sunset through your windshield commuting to work, you can think, wow, I could see the sunrise from my own bedroom window and not have to be commuting. Or you could think, I could see the sunrise as I'm in the Alps for a ski weekend. Or I could see this sunset in Hawaii off Waikiki. And that's incentive. Okay. Another thing on your retire from list is usually that day where you hand in your resignation. Or when you tell the crowd at work that, you know, you're out of there in 2 weeks or something. But there's also the flip side of that. Maybe think about, what are you going to do the first Monday when you know you don't have to go to work? You know, plan a celebration for that. So here's my challenge to you. Start working on your to and from lists. Try to do it by the end of the week. Put them on your phone so you always have them available. Of course, you always might want to write them. You might want to post them in the bedroom or in the bathroom, or maybe on your dash in the car. Start really looking forward to it, because it's going to be really fantastic, and it's going to be amazing what you can experience if you plan it. So making the list doesn't really take long. It'll be fun, and it can change the way that you see your future. And if you want more ways to design a retirement of freedom and joy, subscribe to my channel, because we'll be having a lot more conversations like this one. Retirement isn't just the end of work, it's the beginning of freedom of choice. So I sincerely hope that you have a fantastic and exciting retirement. And thank you so much for being here today. And I hope to see you on the next video. And take care and stay positive. Bye-bye.